Hi everyone, I hope you're doing well. Just wanted to show you how to create a test on Blackboard Ultra. So when you want to create a test, you might want to create a folder first of all, and then this is how we create a folder. So click on this plus, create, and then you can create a folder. So I can call it test or tests, whatever you want to call it, and make sure that this is visible to your students. When the folder is created, you can click on it and then click on this plus, and it's going to give you this option that you can create again. And then here you're going to create a test. So when you are going to create a test, you're give you the name. So for example, I'll call it test number 1 or test number 2, whatever you want to choose from, or you want to type here. Then you're going to create your questions. So you can add the questions. For example, essay type questions, anything that you want from here. Or if you're familiar with adding the questions, you can create a text file and then upload all your text, all your questions here, and it will be added here. Or there are some other things here that you could use auto generation questions that's using AI, so to generate your questions. So whatever you're doing or whatever way you're choosing to add your questions, for example, I'm just going to add one essay question, and I would say write, I don't know, write about yourself. And when I want to set it up, I just want to make sure that we set different things here. So first, I'm going to mention the due date. So when is going to be the due date? So here is the due date. And then I would say if you are adding this one, if you say prohibit late submission, it means that if the student is, for example, you see right now the deadline is like 11:59, and then the test could be like 1 hour. So if you are clicking on this means that the student cannot submit after 11:59, even if they have only started the test for a minute or so. So I don't recommend clicking on this because we want them to still submit if they still have time after the deadline or the due date that we have here. Another part that is very important is prohibit new attempts after due date. So this is very important. So make sure that you click on this so students are not writing the test after the due date. This is super important here. Another thing to mention is that you could just go down here, and then again there are like some other options here. Because I only have one question, I cannot choose any of those kind of things like to randomize the answer or the questions, but you could do that if you have more questions or if you have multiple choice questions. And when we go to the bottom, there is one more thing here to check. Some of my colleagues recommend to put access code. So if students are for some reasons you mistakenly made it open, they cannot access before the test, and then you just give it to them on the test date. So you can set it up, but just make sure that you give it to the students at the time they need it. Add the timer here. So we're going to say, okay, it's going to be like 1 hour. So I can just say limit time for 1 hour or 60 minutes. And then make sure that you add the description. So there is a document that is available on our Teams that's called Academic Integrity Statements. So make sure that you add them here. I also add that academic statement here. You can also add them. Let me just save this part for now. You can also add your academic statement, the academic integrity statement as a text in your test. So if I save this, I can add, you see here, there's like a plus. I can click on this and I can add text. So, and then you can add your academic integrity statement here on top of your test, so student can read that when they are doing it. Some of my colleagues make it as a question, so that students read that and say I agree or confirm, something like that, kind of like a multiple choice question. And one more thing I wanted to add here is to when are we going to make it available to the students. So right now, by default, the test is going to be hidden, but we're going to put a release condition. So release condition, you're going to say, okay, so it's going to give it a time and date. When is it going to be accessible? Don't click on this part. If you make the test available, for example, for it says it has a date and it has a time, so I can click on that and make it available. So after this 11:01, the test is going to be available, and then students can see that. And then after the due date, they cannot submit that, right? Because we submit everything. So the second thing that you saw over there, the second portion that says access until what time? If you click on this, it means that after this time, students cannot see the test, and even if you post the grades, they cannot see the grades as well. So make sure that you don't click on this, make this leave this unchecked, and then you can save it. You can add a new rule if there is like a specific member you want one student to have access to the test, or somebody sooner than a time, like it's more a group, or if you want a specific student to access the test earlier than the other ones, which we do not recommend, you could do that here. So I hope this helped you, and if you've got any questions, you know where to find me. Just email me or use our Teams to ask your questions. Thank you.